Hey everyone, I'm inside my Icon 3D printed house, and this video is about the utility savings that a lot of you guys are just unfamiliar with. And living as a homeowner in this house as my primary residence, now for like 4 months, I can actually comment on the amount of savings when it comes to the electricity bill and stuff, okay? So one thing that's really cool about these Icon 3D printed houses is that when you buy a house here, it comes ready with solar panels on your metal roof. So that's one really cool thing about the house is that it's not shingle, it's metal panels. And they're rated to last 3 times longer than shingles, maybe even more than 3 times longer. So it's cool that your roof is like reliable. I'm in super North Texas, so sometimes it hails. That does make a difference. But the big takeaway is that with the metal roof, the lavacrete printed walls, which is a mixture of cement and lava rock, it really helps insulate everything. And so this house kind of acts like one of those stainless steel cups to where if it's hot, it's going to hold the heat, but if it's cold, it's also going to hold the cold. So what ends up being the realistic feeling in this house, since it's my house, I've lived in it, and I can actually tell you what's up. In my last traditional wood built house, I mean, all houses in America are built by wood, but I would have to keep the AC at an average of like 69 degrees in the house because I was in a 2013 built traditional home, and I just get hot as a person, probably because I'm a little fatter than normal. And so I had to keep my house at 69. But in this 3D printed home, I can actually tell you that I keep the AC on a daily basis, finally at 74 degrees Fahrenheit. And it feels like it's 4 degrees cooler in here. Not sure exactly how the technology works, but that's really cool because 74 feels like 70 or 69. So right off the bat, because the house makes you feel more cooler, that's going to help with your energy bill, right? Because if you're used to putting it at like 70 or 69 the way I was, and now you're up to 74, that's like 4 or 5 degrees difference on a daily basis, okay? The next thing is talking about the solar panels. So at first, it's kind of annoying to see that on your closing contracts. You're like, I don't know about these solar panels. I don't know if I want to buy these solar panels. But what's cool about when you purchase a 3D printed home here is that they give you the option to lease the solar panel system that's normally like a $20,000 cost. You can lease it or you can buy it. And I didn't want to buy it for an additional $20,000 or so. I was kind of upset at first, but when I read the fine print of the contract, it actually says in there that if the solar panels don't at least save you what you're paying for them on the lease or more, then the contract's nullified. It's like void, right? So what that means is, yes, you're paying $75 a month to like finance it over, I think, 15 or 20 years. And at first it seems like an added cost, but the contract clearly says if you're not saving at least $75 or more, then the whole lease is void. So that's cool. It makes me feel like I am going to save more than the $75 a month that we're paying for it. That's why I highly recommend to lease the solar panel system that sits on your roof. Don't just buy it outright unless you really don't care. So anyways, my utility bills are, especially the electricity bill, is half of what I used to pay in a traditional house. And my solar panels aren't even quite turned on yet because it's a couple month process to go back and forth with the utility provider in the city. So I'm actually really looking forward to saving even more once the solar panels are turned on. So yeah, it's been a really cool house. They look really modern, really aesthetic. I actually like the way the walls look. Some people are funny about it, but a lot of our friends and family, they come in and they're like, oh my God, it looks like you have accent walls that are intentional, but really it's just a 3D print. So I've been really happy. Also, I think the AC vents are really cool looking and like futuristic. My sister said it feels like a spaceship in here. Let me show you the vents real quick. Hopefully you can see the AC vents. They're like little slits. And it looks really, really neat right behind the chandelier from West Elm. But yeah, I really like this house a lot. And if you get the right floor plan, which is the Rune, there's actually a lot of storage and it feels really open. So I definitely can't complain. But yeah, there's a serious difference in the utilities compared to normal traditional American homes. You will pay less for sure. And I think it really has to do with the metal roofing, the solar panels, everything being concrete, like the floors are cement, the walls are a mixture of cement and lava rock. And I think all of this really, really helps with the energy savings. It also feels really dry in here. So for those of you who don't really like humidity, I personally don't like the environment being really humid. So I would never go purchase like a humidifier. But that's one thing to know. If you like things dry, like your air, then you're going to be really happy with this house. If not, then you just buy a humidifier. But I like the dry air. Possibly that's why it feels cooler. I'm not sure. So I just wanted to give you like a homeowner's perspective of, am I really saving money on utilities? Like, does that electricity bill, is it really smaller? Yes, it definitely is. And I hope my advice on like what to do with the solar panel system helped you. I would definitely recommend leasing it. I'm also a real estate professional, so hopefully you value my advice. Anyways, if you want to see more cool videos about this 3D printed house, if you're interested in buying one, I definitely predict that in the future, there's going to be a lot more builders that start doing 3D printed houses. I know it's happening in Canada. I know it's happening in other countries. I'm in the first neighborhood in the US where there's actually over 100 homes in a dedicated like subdivision where it's all 3D printed. So that's kind of cool. But I know it's the future is going to be all about 3D printing because you can bring the walls up and print them in 2 weeks, including the foundation. So, you know, companies are going to have to get with the technology. So if you want tips and stuff on like how to mount stuff on the walls, there's a little trick for that. Or like what we're doing with things in our garage. I just put a foldable home gym in the garage. There's a video on this channel about how I did that, and it was less than $1,500. And it goes into like how the garage also feels colder. So it's perfect for a home gym. Anyways, if you want to see more videos about this 3D printed house journey, then you know what to do. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.